Hey everybody, welcome to Round the Twist episode 315. It's December 14th, 2017, and I know I'm a day late recording, but I just wanted to get something out there. I've been taken over by Christmas baking, and it's kind of consumed my life. I haven't done a whole lot of knitting, so I didn't have a whole lot to show you, but then I remembered a couple of things, so here I am. So it's Thursday, not Wednesday, but hopefully this will be a very short show because I know y'all are probably busy too. So first thing, what I actively have on the needles, let me get back to Phoebe. Yes, I know you require constant attention. The Andrea Needs a Co-Pilot cowl, which is, again, my third time making the Co-Pilot cowl by Dominique Trad. It is a free pattern over on Ravelry. I'm knitting up on US 6 needles. Oh, did I know? Oh, there it is. Which is a 4.0 millimeter circular needle, and this is the Wollmeise in the Hallerstauben colorway, Wollmeise Pure, so her 100% 100% superwash merino. And this is old school. These are old Wollmeise tags. You will not see these anymore. This is from the first Wollmeise club that Claudia did. So the yarn is a really deep, like burgundy and purple and pink that's almost been, once again, it's too blue. It's almost like it's been over-dyed black. And what you're seeing along the top here is actually closer to the color. So this is going to be a really difficult color to show just because of how deep this color is. But I am starting on the second round of mesh. So you can see I did the first mesh round, I got my garter stitch section, and I'm three eyelets into the second round of mesh. There are 3 mesh sections separated by garter stitch in each. Excuse me. And I started watching The Crown season 2 last night, so I got a good chunk done during 2 episodes of that. So that's the only thing. This is the only thing I have actively been knitting on, which is kind of sad, but the baking I have been doing. The other thing that I did, I took the twins out and we went to Joann's. I know, smart, right? But I needed to get Tara's opinion because, you know, toddlers, you buy the wrong buttons for something and they won't wear it. So I wanted to make sure that she would wear her Disappointing Stripes cardigan, which is not disappointing for her. She loves it. I still need to block out the button bands. They're just collapsing in just slightly, but I actually might, no, I'll block it before I do what I'm planning on doing. So we needed to find buttons, and the buttons she ended up picking, so all of this is from Joann's Fabrics, are these lovely roses. She saw the roses first. I want roses, and then she saw blue sparkly ones, and I want blue sparkly ones, and we changed our minds about 8 times. But they said, but you said you wanted the roses first. She goes, yeah, the roses. So roses it is. They do fit. Oh, if I pick the right side that has the buttonholes, I'll get one through here. So this is my other test. I had the sweater along in my purse, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't buying too big of buttons to fit through the buttonholes on the button band. So those are going to be just about perfect. But because they're so big and the little fingers are going to be operating this whole shebang, they do have a shank on the back of them, so I at least don't have to go through like through holes on like a standard button like what I have on here. These are my so when I did this sweater, I did these basic ones, backing buttons, which are what you guys always see, but these are my actual buttons on the front, which I got from the Button Emporium out in Portland, Oregon. And I love these buttons, but they do catch. And they have a shank, but I did them so tight they're kind of hard to button up on the sweater, but I can. So I'm going to be very careful when I do that on these. And the other thing that I got, well, went over and matched thread to the buttons, to the darker red in the buttons. Why I matched it to the buttons when you won't see it, I don't know. And then we had to go to the ribbon aisle because I decided this is going to be the time that I actually do finishing properly, and I need to get my button gear so she can wear this since it's starting to get cold. I'm going to do the grosgrain ribbon backing the buttons. So the buttons will be sewn onto the left front, the grosgrain ribbon will be sewn onto the left inside. So rather than doing it like I did, where I just sewed button to button, there will be grosgrain ribbon running here. It's a technique that the Knit More girls, Jasmine and Gigi, do with theirs, and their sweaters are always finished beautifully. So we went over and we debated between a couple different kinds of ribbon. It wasn't as big a debate as it was with the buttons, but she chose this beautiful red, kind of candy striped. So we're going to have some fun inner lining ribbon on that. And that's everything I've been doing. Everything I've been knitting on or working towards getting completely finished. I went into a bit of a baking frenzy last weekend. I don't know what possessed me. I pulled out all of my Christmas recipes and ended up with 10 or 12 different ones that I'm going to make them all this year. Are we going to eat them all? No, probably not. I'm taking a bunch to work this weekend so that we don't need to be eating all of this. Meh. So everything that I made Turkish Delight. Managed to boil it over on the stove, so I still have to clean that, so that's awesome. And it's orange flavored this year because we couldn't find strawberry extract at the store. I made sea salt topped caramels. Yum. Still need to get more wax paper to wrap those up with. Peanut blossoms, which are my hubby's favorite. So those are all for him. Orange juice frosted buttermilk creams, which are my maternal grandmother's recipe. They're like a really soft sugar cookie. So it's like a drop sugar cookie rather than a rollout sugar cookie. And they've got sour cream in them, and I forget all what else. And then you make a powdered sugar icing on top, but rather than using water or milk, you use orange juice. Orange juice frosted buttermilk creams. And obviously there's buttermilk in the cookies too, otherwise they wouldn't be buttermilk creams. Wow. And then I tried to use my grandmother's candy cane cookie recipe as well, which are super fiddly. It's basically you make a basic dough with vanilla and almond in it and color half of it red and then leave the other half white, and then you roll out little dough snakes and twist them together and make a little hook candy cane. Sorry, I'm looking at what I did so I can remember. Well, this year, because they're always fiddly and they always break, and I just decided to try to be a little easier. Instead, I rolled out the dough. Mistake number one, because it's not meant to be rolled out. It got really soft and stuck to the counter, so it was a bit of a mess. And then rolled out the second dough and then layered them one on top of the other and rolled them up like a Swiss roll or a pinwheel. And then sliced them. Let's see, there we go. And then I sprinkled, it's a combination of sugar and crushed peppermints on top. And they're really good, but they're really crumbly, and I don't know, I'll figure out something else for next year. And then I also, last night, made peppermint meringues. I still have 4 things I want to make, so what's that, 6? 6. Oh gosh, I have 5 things to make. Oh my. So that's 11 recipes. I made kringla dough, but I still have to actually shape and bake the kringla. Cracker candy, and I need to make that tonight because I promised someone at work I would bring it tomorrow. And she doesn't work on the weekends, so I have to bring it tomorrow. Mystery cookies, which are from one of my Joanne Fluke mystery books, the Hannah Swenson Murder Mysteries. Main character runs a bakery in Minnesota, so there's a lot of cookie recipes. The mystery cookies are delicious. They're like a raisin spice cookie. Probably the most basic cookie that I make besides the peanut blossoms. Spritz. There was something else. I'm drawing a blank on what the 5th one was. And then when my parents get here next week, my dad wants to do roll-out sugar cookies with the twins, so we'll worry about that when that happens. But it's all baking all the time around here, and all Phoebe whining all the time. Yeah. So I'm going to go deal with her, and I'll see you guys next week. And until then, happy knitting.